Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community and neighborhoods. And now, from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. Dorothy, a couple of weeks ago, we have 2 guests today. And if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, we had Tawana Dixon on the show.
Yes.
From the Board of Elections.
With lots of good information.
Good information about voting, about logistics. We don't even go near politics, right?
That's the smart place.
But we go towards providing good information for people.
Yes.
That they can use so they can make informed decisions. And to that end, I'm being joined this morning on the first set by Bob Barmore, who's been on the show before, who is here representing the Pinehurst Civic Group and the League of Women Voters. And in particular, he's going to be talking to us about, in addition to some of the logistics, because we can't give it too much, the Pinehurst municipal elections. There is a town meeting in a couple of days on the 17th of October at the Village Hall at 6:30. The doors open at 6. And Bob, I'll say good morning.
Good morning.
And you've got quite a bit of information, and we appreciate your willingness to do this. This Village Hall meeting on the 17th, that's a Tuesday? No. Is it a Tuesday?
I believe it's a Tuesday.
Okay.
But this is the Pinehurst Civic Group and the League of Women Voters have paired up.
Okay.
The whole goal is to get information, good information, out to our residents and our voters.
Right.
So they can make sense out of who's who and how to cast their ballot for somebody that represents their best interest.
Yeah.
So that, we are non-denominational. We simply present the information and let people make decisions.
Right.
But all of the candidates, we've got 3 candidates running for mayor and 5 candidates who are running for town council. All will be in attendance. We are actually soliciting questions from the public in terms of things they'd like us to talk about. But it's a good time. It's an excellent way to meet the people, get a feel for their personalities, and understand what policies are important to them.
Okay. There are 3 candidates running for mayor, and there are 5 for village council. How many seats are available on the village council?
Well, it's kind of interesting, but the simple answer is there are 2 open seats.
Okay.
Lydia is an incumbent.
Right.
The rest would be new candidates.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting wrinkle is 2 of our mayoral candidates are also village councilmen. So if one of the councilmen, either Mr. Morgan or Mr. Pizzella, actually became mayor,
Right.
we would then have an open spot on the council,
Okay.
which I believe the correct approach is the new council will then accept nominations and they will appoint someone.
Oh, they won't go by the voting for the 5.
No, they recently did this when they replaced Jane Hogeman.
Yes. Yeah. She's
from
been
the-
on the show.
From the council.
Yes.
And they appointed Tom Henney.
Yes.
But it's not a voting process. It's an appointment process by the council.
What kind of turnout do you get for these meetings?
That's an interesting question. We invite everyone. We will set up probably 250 chairs.
Right.
And then we worry about overflow. But it will be live streamed. We will also have it recorded for replay.
Okay.
So that if you don't want to come out, if you can't come out, if you want to come out, all those options are available.
Okay.
The village is kind enough to help us with all the IT. So the live streaming recording will be part of the village systems.
And tell me where the village hall is?
It's Village Hall. It's I'm trying to think. I think it's on Magnolia.
Okay. I'm only asking because every year we have new sets of listeners with all the changing demographics. That's
I understand.
I'm not trying
totally.
to put you on the spot at all.
It's across the street from the fire department and the police department.
There you go.
You can't miss it.
Near Rassy Wicker Park. So 2 of the candidates for council will be elected, and then there'll be
Perhaps.
Perhaps, right. The third will not be based on the voting.
Correct.
Why is that? I'm just curious.
Why questions are always the hardest. I got that information directly from the Board of Elections in terms of the process.
Okay.
But it's not third place gets it. I heard that very distinctly.
Well, you mentioned Mr. Morgan and Mr. Pizzella as current board members. Mr. Drum, the third candidate for mayor, was a board member.
He was previously a council member, yes.
There you go. So there's it's collegial. There are a lot of people who know each other in this race.
Well, Bill, it's a very small town.
It is.
And so, yes, you get to know people. And Claire actually ran for mayor.
That's correct.
I think what was that?
Yes.
2019?
I don't remember the year. I remember she was on the show at the time, and we did at some point where we had candidates coming on, but there are other people here at the station who do that, and I'm more than happy with that arrangement.
Well, I have heard more than one person complain about, how do you get good information?
Right.
And I actually sat down and did the research and put together an email that has a link to every candidate's official website.
Okay.
If I had the pleasure of listening and reading all of it, I'm happy to share that with anyone, just in terms of having all the information in one place, because they do spend a good amount of time talking about their qualifications,
right,
and those issues that they're most interested about.
Bob, how do people reach you?
Pinehurst Civic Group at gmail.com is a good way. If nothing else, I can get you on our email blast, and we'll keep you posted.
Okay.
So
better email than phone.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. You'll be on the phone all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So the event is October 17th at Village Hall at 6:30. People can start coming in at 6. How long do you anticipate the meeting lasting?
We're working through that. The logistics of giving each individual candidate
right
enough time to say something intelligent.
Right.
So we suspect 8:30-ish.
Okay.
And it's going to be in two waves. The first wave will be council people.
Right.
So we have those 5 people. We will go through the exercise, and then we will take a short break, and they will reconvene with the mayoral candidates.
Okay. My guess is that the integrity of this meeting will disseminate far more information to the citizens than these national presidential debates. They call them debates. They're a joke. People get up there. It's like everyone, they have to run through 10 topics. Each one is worthy of 3 hours of conversation, but everyone gets a minute and a half. It's crazy. They just go through bullet points and they say, okay, that's a debate. It's no debate. It's just a screaming match.
Well, we usually get very good coverage. Thank you for allowing us to do some work here, but also the pilot will be there.
Yep.
It'll get picked up.
Sure.
I think it's kind of the high point on the calendar for most of these candidates.
October is filled with events. And every year, if I had to do a survey, I would say October is our busiest month in terms of people calling and coming in. And we are, in the second set, we are going to be speaking with Women of the Pines, and they're going to be coming in to talk about some of their upcoming events, both in October and going forward. And they are a very busy, very organized group, and they do great work raising monies for some charities. Before we get off, when we did have Tawana on, she did talk a little bit about photo IDs, registering to vote. Is there anything you want to go back over that she'd covered?
Well, Tawana may have said this. I did it this morning. Our voter turnout is very sad.
Yeah.
We have approximately 14,000 registered voters, and we had less than 4,500 actual votes in our last mayoral campaign.
Right.
But it's not hard to vote.
Right.
Literally, you can start voting October 19th.
That's right.
Up at the Agricultural Center at Carthage. It's quite easy.
Yep.
And you can register at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that continues, I think, on to November 4. You can still do the early voting. That's kind of in lieu of absentee voting.
Right.
The other thing, I actually read all of the ID regulations, and it's interesting. They basically say that no one will be refused voting. If you do not have an ID, you can still vote on a provisional vote.
Right.
And then you either file two pieces of paper. One piece of paper is pleading for an exemption from the ID requirement for whatever reason.
Uh-huh.
And then the second option is you fill out, I think you basically say, I'll be back with my ID
Right.
before the end of the election.
Okay.
But no one will be turned away simply because they do not have an ID.
Okay.
But it's not as harsh as many people make it sound.
Great. I want to just reiterate one more time before we get off. The Pinehurst Municipal election there'll be a meeting on October 17th at Village Hall at 6:30. The doors are going to open at 6. It'll be an opportunity to listen to the candidates for Village Council in Pinehurst, as well as the 3 mayoral candidates. And I think you guys do a great job of informing the public, and I think, unfortunately, the report card is sometimes, what is the turnout after all the efforts that are made? And it's sad. More people, everyone knows when the signs go up, like clockwork, and yet not everybody votes. Hopefully you'll have a successful turnout this year.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bob, it's good to see you. I appreciate you coming in, and I hope residents of Pinehurst get to this meeting, the candidate forum on the 17th at Village Hall, just a couple of days from now. Thank you. We'll be back in the second set with Women of the Pines. Welcome back to our second set of All Things Moore County. As I was telling Bob Barmore, Dorothy, in the first set, October is probably our busiest month with guests. Things seem to really ramp up once people get back into school. And
Yes, it does.
They're starting the 3-month sojourn towards the holidays. And we were fortunate to get Women of the Pines in today. They've been past guests on the show. They're a very active group that do a lot of good things for the community. And we have many guests, and we're going to be talking to each one of them about upcoming events, some this month, some after this month. But I want to start off talking to the president of Women of the Pines, Barb Summers, who's been on. And thanks for making yourself available. You have a lot to talk about. Every year, we have new people moving into Moore County. It hasn't stopped. So I almost feel like we have to go back to 101 and talk a little bit about the organization and the history, just to sort of set the table.
All right. Well, we're so grateful to be here, Bill. You're wonderful to have us. I've been a few times, and you help get the word out to the public. But, Women of the Pines, it's actually starting in January. We will be celebrating 50 years of our organization. Like a lot of organizations, we started with a small group meeting in the homes, and then from that, it built, and women were just gathering to make crafts. What do we do with it? So then they would endeavor to have little sales, things of that nature to raise some money. And back when we first started, most of our monies that we raised would go to the 2 rescue squads, one in West End and the Pinehurst one. And then as time went on, we developed to where we had enough money that we started doing a scholarship to Sandhills Community College, and we have continued to do that. And probably right now, with this last year's donation to that, we're probably at about $75,000 in scholarship money that we've given to the community. We focus on reaching out to other nonprofits that need need our help. We focus on those that need food, shelter, maybe some medical help, and that's how we start to evaluate also a little bit of who we give to. And we have a committee that determines that. This last May, we were proud to say that we put back into the community $35,000.
That's crazy. It's
And
great.
that was our largest ever, and of course, we'll set a goal for this next year.
So last year you raised $35,000, and just what were the events that you did that generated that income?
Well, of course, we start with what we're here to talk about initially today is our bake sale and raffle.
Right.
And then in February, excuse me,
Yep.
in February we had our casino night, which was a big venture for us because we took it to the fair barn.
Right.
And we had a great turnout, and that one made almost $21,000 for us.
Wow.
And then we have our fashion show, which we always have in April.
Right.
And that's at Forest Creek. So that's our last fundraiser. So between those events and then also some generosity within our members, that's how we were able to make that kind of a donation.
You know, last week we had on the Sandhills, the Boys and Girls Club at the Sandhills, and we had a couple of students on. They were 8 and 9 years old. They were here with the CEO and a board member. The kids were adorable. And I was commiserating with the two guests that when we were in college, we never had a course called fundraising. We took basic courses. We never knew that as you get older and as different chapters of your life evolve, you have to start thinking outside the box. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the fact that Women of the Pines was established in 1974, if you spoke to people in our generation today, they'd say, oh, yeah, that was just a few decades ago. No, it was 50 years ago.
Right.
If you go back 50 years from 1974, that was 1924. Mm-hmm. What? I mean, where did the time go?
Right. Well, and you know, Bill, where our membership is concerned, we still have members we have one who's 92 years old, and she's a past president, and she still comes to our meetings. She's going to help with the bling side of the event, and we have a lot of past presidents that continue. And what's nice is our website and through our Facebook postings, we've also been able to start getting new members. And Beth, who's here today with us, she came through our website. So she's an example of
is that right?
different ways to reach out, because most of the time you have a friend that you think, I think you'd be a great fit for Women of the Pines,
Right.
bring them, and that's how it goes. But we've added about 3 members so far through the website.
That's terrific. So you mentioned bling. So lately, every time you go on social media, you see Taylor Swift. You see Travis Kelce, trailers, and with her friends, and all you see. When I think of bling, because I used to be a costume jewelry manufacturer, and would ship private label merchandise to department stores, and bling to me is jewelry, but it's more than that too. It's accessories for a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So you have Mary Hilgenberg. I want to introduce you. You've got an event coming up, and it's Women of the Pines Bake and Bling. And you've got gift card raffle boxes to talk about as well.
Well, actually, Kate's here to talk about the bake end of it.
Okay.
And Beth is going to talk about the bling.
Well,
I'm more the website and the Facebook.
The other way around.
Other way around.
I'm sorry, the other way around. Kate is
We
the
even
bake.
get confused.
I want to talk about the bake and bling.
Okay.
Who is speaking?
The bling is Kate.
Okay,
I'm
Kate.
Would you like me to go?
Well, yeah, you laughed when I said Taylor Swift,
I did.
right?
Because I knew where you were going with
I mean, we're inundated. Every day you get enough. I have some friends who live in Moore County, and they took their daughters to Atlanta recently to see a Taylor Swift concert. They came back, and the kids are freshmen and sophomores in high school, pretty impressionable age. And they said it was life-changing. I'm going, life-changing? Really? A concert?
Right.
Okay. But you take it from where it comes, and the kids are very impressionable.
Yes.
But now she must be a marketing maven, what she's doing.
Right.
But let's talk about the bling and the bake, or the bake and the bling.
Sure. We'll go with bling first.
Okay.
And I want to emphasize that we will not have any friendship bracelets for sale. Taylor Swift friendship bracelets.
Right.
In the past, we have had a very successful rummage sale. Women
Right.
of the Pines has sponsored prior to COVID. Mm-hmm. And at that rummage sale, our most successful part of it was our boutique.
Okay.
And so we thought, because of the kindness of the Sandhills Women's Exchange and the space we're allotted for the bake sale, we had a little bit of extra room, that we thought it would be really a good idea to try and bring back the boutique bling part.
Okay.
So some of the things that we are looking to be selling is jewelry
Right.
and purses and scarves.
Right.
And small home decor and maybe a few little holiday items.
Easy items to say yes
right,
to.
exactly. And so far, all
without,
these...
without losing any square footage in your home.
Right, exactly. Good point. That was a good point. And our membership has been so generous so far. They've donated quite a few items. But if there's anybody who's listening, has anything they'd like to donate, they can contact me.
Right.
And would you like me to give the information
yes,
now?
by all
My
means.
okay. My name is Kate Len, and my home number is 910-295-0380, and I would be happy to come by and pick the items up.
Your phone will be ringing off the hook.
Okay, that's
You've given
good.
your home phone
That's
away.
good. I don't care. That's fine. It's for a good cause.
Wow. The event is on the 21st of October, next week. So we're a week out. There's a lot of competition in October for different events, but I think you guys do a good job of getting your name out there, and the turnout that you have is terrific, seemingly every year, and it's just growing, right? Does it catch you by surprise? And Mary, I'll ask you that question.
No, it doesn't catch me by surprise because some of us have been here quite a while. We know a lot of people, and word gets out.
Your
and it's for a
network
good
grows.
cause. It's a good cause.
Yeah. Each year you have more people to draw on.
Yes, and they know that we give it all back to the community.
Right. One of the things that come up, that you bring up a good point, is the administrative costs that you incur when you're collecting funds. How does that factor in when you receive the funds and then distribute them? Are you...
Well, really, our fundraising events is where we then take a look. Treasurer goes back to the charitable selection committee and says, okay, this is what we can give you this year to work from. And then they go through applications. We always do the scholarship, so we always set that money aside. And friend to friend is someone else that we've always done with, and we've added Changing Destinies to that in that same kind of criteria there. But
Right.
as far as administrative, we really don't. I mean, it's what the money is.
Whatever you
and
get, you just put back in
we
somewhere
get it back out to the community.
to
right.
maybe another event, so it's 100%.
Right, and then
funds
they
come in.
can use it for whatever and that. Like
Seed money.
correct for other organizations, not because we pay in tandem with them.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. The bake sale is something that you reach out to your network and people come and volunteer and bring pastries and seasonal items. Is that
Yes, Bill, there's nothing as simple as a bake sale.
okay?
However,
I'm sorry,
With
Beth Van
Voorn.
Voorn. I wanted
Right.
to introduce you. So you're in charge of the bake sale itself.
well, I'm not in charge of much, but the organization is, as Mary said, very, very generous
Right.
with their time and with their contributions.
Right.
So moving forward with a bake sale, I am a new member and I did come through the website. So this has given me an opportunity to begin to share my efforts for the organization as well.
What drew you to the website in the first place?
I'm glad you asked me that. I have a background in education, special ed, and when I saw that the organization made a commitment to education at Sandhills Community College, I know what a difference in life that can make,
Right.
and where someone can go with an education
Right.
that they might not have the opportunity to without that. So that was the biggest draw to me. You know, as a newcomer to Pinehurst, there's a lot of places you can put your efforts.
Where'd you come from?
I came from I came all the way from Raleigh.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, I was in Raleigh 35 years.
And how long have you been in Moore County now?
I've been here just about 2.
So you are tying up the laces on your sneakers and getting involved.
I am.
So you
I am.
reached out through the website to start the process.
Yes, and retirement, you've got to keep yourself busy.
Okay,
so.
quick question. What brought you from Raleigh to here, to Moore County?
My husband and I are golfers.
Okay.
And we had always hoped to retire here.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a funny story. We just got an email from someone, a company,
Yep.
who wanted to buy our house.
Right.
And when they made us the offer, our mothers did not raise fools. We took it, and we came down here. So, and we're very happy. It's close enough. Don't tell my husband, but I am in Raleigh at least once a week. So.
But you're allowed. It's only an hour and 10
That's
minutes.
right, and we have
Tops.
grandchildren, and our one daughter is there.
That's close enough.
So yeah.
So you're probably also meeting a lot of people in the network, increasing the network through the efforts for the bake sale.
Absolutely. And Women of the Pine is a group of workers.
Yeah.
Okay. They do not hesitate to give their time or a check to the efforts because we know where it's going and how well it's used.
So the bake sale is going to be at the Women's Exchange.
Yes.
Can we talk about the Women's? Well, you know what? Let's do that in the next set. We are just winding down on this first set. Okay. We're going to come back. We're talking this show with Women of the Pines, an upcoming event next Saturday, the 21st, which, by the way, I think October is probably the best weather month of the year.
Right.
In North Carolina. It's my favorite, always has been. This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our third and final set of All Things Moore County. We're talking all about the Women of the Pines. It's a great organization that does a lot of proactive fundraising for great agencies in Moore County. We have been talking about the bake sale, the Bake and Bling event on October 21st. And also at that event on October 21st, there's a raffle going on. I want to talk about that just a little bit. So if you, Beth, want to...
Sure. My partner and I, Robbie Horn, are in charge of bake and raffle. Our raffle categories are Pamper Me. Now, every lady knows exactly what Pamper Me means. We have Spa Time, a mani-pedi. The second category is Gas Me Up. Now, I thought this was going to be a really hot one. I hope more people join in my belief, but gas prices are high. So this category includes gas cards, oil changes, car washes, anybody who has a car.
Right.
Okay. The third category, I think this is Barb's favorite one, is Wine and Dine. She has contributed greatly to this one. This is all the great restaurants here in Pinehurst and Southern Pines.
And they'll be giving away gift certificates?
Gift certificates,
okay.
Yes. With sufficient enough for a meal for 2, more than that. And last category, which I'm excited about, was Golf for All. So we have gift certificates to, hold your breath, Forest Creek.
Wow.
Right. We have Mid Pines. We have Whispering Pines Country Club, or Country Club of Whispering Pines. So for a raffle ticket, each costs $25. You have the opportunity to choose which of these 4 categories you would like to have the opportunity to win.
Okay.
So the Golf for All is currently valued at $1,200. So a $25 ticket could get you
Wow.
$2,500 worth of golf. So that's bake and that's raffle of the event.
So I have a prediction.
Yes, sir.
All the husbands that are going to be involved are going to, if their wives collect the correct raffle ticket, they're going to go for the gas me up.
I hope so.
Oh, it's without question.
Well, I hope so. That was my thought. And I thought this is not just women buying the tickets, even though our group is very, very generous in purchasing them.
Right.
I'm hoping that maybe the day of, on October 21st of our event, there will be men who come along and say, hey, I want the gas
Yeah.
and I want the golf. Right.
When will the raffle be drawn?
The raffle will be drawn at the end of our day, which is 2:00.
Oh, that same day.
The same day.
Oh, that's great.
And
People will
I
like
wish
that.
we'll have a picture of the boxes. The boxes are beautifully wrapped.
Yeah.
So in the interior, you'll receive all of the gift cards.
That's terrific.
Thank you.
I think it's small. I mean, if people know it's the same day,
Yes, sir.
they'll be more willing to buy a ticket.
Absolutely. There's
I
no
believe.
waiting 2 weeks or a month.
No exchanging numbers and
Right.
this and that and right.
Right.
So immediate gratification.
We love that.
Essentially, right?
Right.
So that's going to happen on the 21st, we talked at the first set or second set, the items for the bling, which we covered as accessories and jewelry. Have you canvassed just individuals, or have there been stores that you've spoken to?
Strictly through our membership right now. And
What's
they
that?
have been through our membership right now.
Okay.
And they have been incredibly generous.
Okay.
But we're not going to say no to anybody who wants to contribute.
Right.
And as I mentioned before, they can contact me directly if they have anything they'd like me to pick up.
And you were brave enough to give us your
Yeah,
phone number.
Yes. The items that we're looking for, again, jewelry, purses, quality scarves, pottery, small art pieces, and small home decor pieces. And any of these items that we do not wind up selling, we are going to donate to Changing Destinies Ministries, Sandhills Women's Exchange, Whispering Pines Thrift Shop, and the Sandhills Moore Coalition for Human Care.
So that's more evidence, Barbara, of monies or of things of value that come in that get recycled.
Correct.
So it's all seed. Yeah. So that's really important to know. So it's a noble effort that you're doing, and everyone has an eye on the same thing, so your goals are the same. Philosophically, you're all about just 100% giving it back to the community.
Right.
Bling is it's quick, it's easy. Again, immediate gratification. I have to have this
Absolutely.
today, and that's it. And they go home and they feel better,
Right.
right? The event is going to happen at the Sandhills Women's Exchange.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you?
We've been going, well, of course, as you know, Bill, the Sandhills Women's Exchange pretty still special to me because of my involvement there. But when we had COVID
Yep.
and then we wanted to start the bake sale back up, I talked with my then board at the cabinet and I said, could we use the parking lot here, allow us to spread out, still be able to have something.
Right.
And of course they were more than happy to help. So we've been there. This is our third year to be there. And it works for us. And like Kate said, we came up then with the idea to take advantage of that big parking lot.
Yep.
And that's how we added, bling to it. And of course, the exchange right now, this year, they are celebrating 200 years of the cabin itself, which is that main building that you come through. And that's been 200 years old. We're celebrating it there. And of course, a year ago, we celebrated 100 years of the Sandhills Women's Exchange organization itself. So again, a part of the community. And I'm proud that both places that I'm involved with are
Yeah.
working together.
When we have newcomers who come into town and we're giving them a nickel tour, driving them around, the Exchange building is one of the things that captures that Currier and Ives moment or that postcard, because it just takes people back to a time before, oh my gosh, before they were here or their parents were here. And it's part of the history of the area. And people always have a strong curiosity. They should stop in because they can also grab breakfast or lunch.
Right, we
or
do.
a
We're,
late
yeah,
breakfast.
10 to 3, the cabin is open, so gift shop is available all through those hours, and we do lunch in the cabin cafe
Yeah.
from 11 to 2. and that, and we have monthly lunch and learns, lots of events going on, and a lot of celebrations and that.
Yeah, and next week on the 21st will be a great opportunity for people to see it for the first time.
Right. Well, they're not going to be open on Saturday. They a year ago stopped being open on Saturdays, but they did open last year for us.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to scoot in, so they're not this year, and we're a little disappointed in that, but we do understand. But we're just happy to be there.
Okay, before I switch to Mary, you have some upcoming events beyond October. In February the 10th, you're having the second casino night at the Fair Barn.
At the Fair Barn, yep. We're going to give that another try because it was so successful. We're doing another one of our health symposiums in March 8th.
Yes.
And then our last fundraising event will be our fashion show, which we're moving to the Fair Barn this year because we're going to try to extend that celebration of our 50 years of Women of the Pines.
So even though all these events are packaged between October and April, that doesn't mean that it's just a 6-month. This is a 12-month journey.
Well, it is.
A lot of planning.
And of course, we have our monthly meetings on Wednesdays at Forest Creek. So we have a business meeting, we have a program, and many of our speakers through the year will be some of the organizations that we've given money to, so they can come and tell us what their journey is.
We will hopefully hear more from you about casino night.
Invite us back. We'll come back.
You're invited. That was I think that was the major funder of all the things you did last year. I think you said 20,000?
About 21,000 we made. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mary, so with all this information, where do people go to get it so they can write it down and put it in their hard drive, in their brain?
Well, we have got so much information out on our website, which is www.womenofthepines.org. Everything you could want to know about us. We meet September through May. And the first thing when you open our website is our upcoming Bake and Bling event. And once you X out of that first screen, you can see everything about us.
Yep.
From our programs, our events, our charities, past events, our history, our board of directors, our media, which is where this podcast will end up.
Yes.
And then how you can donate or contact us.
Yeah.
And then there's a link directly to take you to our Facebook page, which I maintain. And there will be some fun upcoming little snippets of what's coming at Bake and Bling on there, so you should go to it and watch. Our website master is Marianne Gurney, and her and I kind of work together to keep everything current and going.
Okay.
But you can look back a full year on our website and see, what we're about, just how Beth came to us. She got a question about what we were about, and she looked and she joined us, and that just kind of speaks about our website.
Well, I have to tell you, I've had the privilege of having Women of the Pines on a couple of times in the last few years, and it seems like every time you come on, you've ramped it up a bit to another level. And I'm going to guess that the founders of this organization back in 1974 would be very proud if they could see what you all are doing today.
Yeah, I hope so. And of course, Helen Kramer, which
Yes.
we've spoken about in the past. Of course,
Yes.
she passed away a couple years ago now. She was a part of
Yes, she was.
why we are where we are, and I think she would be proud.
I think so too. Women of the Pines is a great organization. Moore County is a great place to live. If you're new to the area, do what Beth did. We can make Beth a social icon. Just do what Beth did. Go on the website, get in, volunteer. We're going to get you here. You're going to feel like you've been here more than 2 years in about a year from now.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming and talking to me. And best of luck with the event on the Bake and Bling on Saturday, October 21st.
Thank you.
Thank
Come,
you.
Thank you.
Come and see us.
Thank you, guys. This is All Things Moore County. Have a great week.